This is the inside story of your heart and blood, Lubba Dubba. And here to tell you about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
I've got feet, take me places, and legs for running races, and arms for warm embraces, not to mention my gorgeous face. It might sound quite conceited, but I know what a feat it is to be as well completed as this. Oh, how I love to feel the drive. What a joy to be alive. But our show is not just about my body here. Oh, no. It's about your body, too. So right now, everyone who's watching, point to your body and say, "This is my body." Good. Point to the person sitting next to you. Say, "That is your body." Right. Under our skin, we've all got muscles to move around, bone so we don't fall down, a small and a large intestine, a liver and a stomach for food digestion, a heart that keeps on beating, 2 lungs which keep on breathing, skin keeps our bodies in, and our brain keeps them out of the rain. How I love to feel the drive, and I'm glad to be alive. Slim Goodbody is my name, and I am here to guide you on a tour which will explore everything inside you. But before we start exploring, there is something I must tell. Everything you see in me is part of you as well. What you see in my body here is in your body too. And at the end of the show, when we're all through, you're going to know why it's true. There's nothing in the world more remarkable than you. You and your wonderful body. Our bodies are filled with incredible things. Well, first of all, we have 2 pipes that lead down from the back of our throat. One is called the windpipe, and it brings air into our lungs. The other 2 brings food into our stomach, and that's called the esophagus. This is the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, the liver. We have lungs. We have ribs, which attach them back to the spine. A lot of other bones. We've got muscles. Oh, and speaking about muscles, what is this? Right, the heart. The greatest pump, the greatest muscle in the world. Now, everybody, hold your hand out like this. Pretend you've got a rubber ball in your hand. Pretend the rubber ball is filled up with water. There's a hole in the top. Squeeze the rubber ball. Out comes the water. Relax your hand, bop, and the ball pops back to shape. Do it again. Bop, bop, bop. You know, your heart works something like this, only your heart is filled with blood. And when it squeezes, it pumps the blood through your body. Then it relaxes, squeezes, relaxes, squeezes. Only I like to think that my heart sounds something like this. Lub-da, blub-da, 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 lub-da, blub-da, blub-da, blub-da. Of course, hearts are very important parts of animals, too, not just human beings. Since animals come in all different sizes and types, their hearts are different, too. Some cold-blooded animals can make their hearts beat fast or slow, depending upon the temperature. Lubba-dubba, 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 lubba-dubba.
Lubba-dubba, 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 lubba-dubba.
A bird's heart goes very fast. And so does a small mammal's. But a large one goes...
Lubba-dubba, 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 lubba-dubba.
Lubba-dubba, lubba-dubba, lubba-dubba.
Lubba-dubba, 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 lubba-dubba. Lubba-dubba, 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 lubba-dubba,
Lubba-dubba, lubba-dubba, lubba-dubba, lubba.
Your body is incredible. It's busy every minute. Amazing things are happening to keep you living in it. Your heart is beating, lungs are breathing, blood is circulating. Your mind is thinking, eyes are blinking, skin is insulating. Billions of cells are working together, all in harmony, creating what I like to call the human factory. One of the most important and hard-working parts in this factory is the heart. Now, when your heart pumps, it doesn't just spurt blood through your body. No, the blood flows through muscular tubes, which are called blood vessels. The blood vessels which carry blood away from the heart are the arteries. The blood vessels which carry blood back to the heart, they're the veins. Altogether, you've got over 60,000 miles of blood vessels in your body. That means if they were strung in a straight line, they would stretch almost 3 times around the world. In my body, I've got about 5 quarts of blood. This blood flows through my body all the time. One important stop, the lungs, where it picks up oxygen from the air you breathe in. Another important stop, the small intestine, where it picks up the digested food. Now, where does the blood bring all these things? The cells. Cells are the tiniest living parts of your body. There are billions and billions of them. You might think of yourself as a sort of family of cells all working together. There are many different types. Muscle cells, all of these together make up muscles. Skin cells, all of these together make up skin. Brain cells, and many more. But each and every one of these billions of cells has something in common. They all need food, oxygen, and a way of getting rid of the waste. Well, this happens through the walls of the capillaries. Capillaries are the tiniest blood vessels in your body. They connect the arteries to the veins. This is what they actually look like. It's a river of life flowing through your body. With each beat, your heart will squeeze blood through the arteries, which branch out like trees to reach all of your body. And then it's back to your heart through the veins. But in your heart, blood doesn't remain, for it's pumped again on its never-ending journey. You know, your body system of circulation is the world's greatest method of transportation, a river of life that flows under your skin. Round and around in one direction, providing food and air and waste collection to every single cell that lies within. Blood will circulate along a route that's a figure 8, and it makes the trip 1,000 times a day. From your heart to your lungs to get air, back to your heart to be pumped everywhere, and it takes less than 1 minute to flow the whole way. But how do we know so much about the body? Well, people have been studying and learning about it for centuries. Over 300 years ago, a man in England made some important discoveries. His name was Dr. William Harvey, and he proved that blood flowed out of the heart through the arteries and back through the veins, always in one direction. Here he is long ago in his laboratory.
Yes, there. That should make your veins stand out nicely. You know, of course, that this doesn't hurt a bit. My experiment was very simple, really, and anyone could do it. Here. You flatten a vein by pushing out the blood. By the way, the blood isn't really blue, you know. It only looks that way underneath the skin. Now, if you lift the finger closer to the heart, nothing happens. The vein stays flat because no blood flows back into it. But if you lift the other finger, well, you can see how the blood rushes in. So we know for sure that the blood flows only in one direction. It comes out from the heart through arteries we can't see and goes back to the heart in this direction through the veins. Round and round it goes over and over again. Thank you, Samuel. And so the blood circulates, propelled through the body by this marvelous pump, an organ I have studied for many, many years. You know, it's one of the first things formed in any new living creature. In this egg, for example, a tiny chicken is only a few days old. Its heart is already beating, and some veins and arteries have formed too. There it is, the beginning of life.
Lubba-dubba, lubba-dubba.
Oh, my. There are still many secrets here for me.
Dr. Harvey learned a lot about the heart, and we've kept learning ever since. Here's what we know now. First of all, the heart has 4 rooms or chambers. When the blood returns from the body through the veins, it enters the atria. Blood is flowing into and out of the heart on the other side, too. But for right now, we'll just look at one side at a time. As the atrium fills, the valve between the chambers opens and the blood flows into the right ventricle. The atrium squeezes in the final bit. Next, when the ventricle contracts, this valve will be forced shut, while this one opens. Each squeeze forces blood into the lungs. Lubba dubba. In the capillaries in the lungs, the blood gets rid of its load of carbon dioxide, which it brought from the cells, and then takes on its fresh supply of oxygen, which turns it a bright red color. Now the blood flows back into the other side of the heart. The atrium squeezes the last bit of blood into the ventricle. When it's the ventricle's turn to squeeze, the valve shuts, and this one opens. The bright red blood with its oxygen is pumped out into the body through the great artery, the aorta. Pump, pump, pump goes your heart, sending the blood on its way, yeah. 80 beats a minute, 115,000 beats a day, pumping over and over again. It's your heart, is strong and hard-working friend. It's beating out the rhythm of life. Your heart is a muscle about the same size as your fist. Everybody right now, make a fist. Good. I want to teach you the new dance, the muscle hustle. Goes like this. Good. It used to be called the cardiac twist. Now, I want everybody who's watching to do an experiment with me. Simple. Everybody stand up. Good. Put your hands on your heart. Now I want you to begin very slowly and then really move in place with me with a lubba-dubba. We're going to prove that the harder you work, the harder your heart has to pump. Ready? Lubba-dubba. Good. Dubba, lubba, dubba. A little faster. Lubba, dubba, lubba-dubba. A little faster. Lubba-dubba, lubba-dubba. Now as fast as you can go. Lubba-dubba, 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 lubba-dubba. Sit down. Whew. Relax. Especially when you get your grades and your tests back. Don't get all tensed up inside. Your heart works hard for you. Do things that are healthy for your heart. Get enough sleep, enough exercise, eat wholesome food, get plenty of fresh air, and have fun. Good times are good for your heart. You know, your heart is such an amazing, incredible organ, and yet so few people ever actually get a chance to see it. Except, of course, surgeons in an operating room. Well, we have a special treat for you. We're going to show you how the heart looks inside a person's body. That's right. Here it is. The amazing pump. The heart. Incredible, isn't it? The wonderful, fantastic heart. Step right up and shout it loud. My body is great and I am proud. There's no one else I'd rather be. I treasure the pleasure of being me.
This is the inside story of respiration, the breath of life. And here to tell you about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Slim Goodbody, and I am here to guide you today. I will provide you with lots of information about your system of respiration. I'll be explaining all about breathing in and breathing out. No one can live without it for long. And by the time we finish with this show, I hope that all of you will know you've got a body of wondrous possibilities, undeniably fine. A body of numerous capabilities, busy all the time. Now place your hands upon your chest, and please do as I suggest. Breathe in and let it out. Your lungs receive the air. Many tubes help bring it there. But once air flows into those lungs, its inner journey's just begun. You see, the whole reason for breathing is to get fresh air containing oxygen into your lungs. That's inhaling, and getting used air containing carbon dioxide and water vapor out of your lungs. That's exhaling, and every one of the billions of cells in your body needs oxygen. In other words, some of the air you breathe in through your nose eventually has to wind up reaching the cells in the tip of your toes. It's a mighty big job, but it's not too much. You can do it, 'cause you've got such a body of wondrous possibilities, a body of numerous capabilities, a body, it's a body, quite a body, such a body like mine. We are living underneath a gigantic ocean of air which surrounds the Earth. Another name for this ocean is the atmosphere. Even though you can't smell it, or taste it, or even see it, it's there. And you can feel it when it's moving. Okay, everybody, hold your hand up, take a breath, and blow. Feel that? That's air moving. Breathing is air moving into and out of your lungs. And the most important part of the air you breathe in is the gas called oxygen. Oxygen is essential to life. And do you know why? Because your body must have oxygen in order to change the food you eat into the energy you need. In each and every one of the billions of cells in your body, food and oxygen come together and release energy. How does this happen? Well, think about something that's burning. Oxygen in the air combines with fuel and produces energy in the form of heat and light. Fire. Now, food is also a fuel. The fuel of life, which provides energy for your body. But oxygen is needed here too. As the food combines with oxygen in your cells, it gives off energy which your body uses to move muscles, help you stay warm inside, and do all the other things you need to live. Just like this candle, your cells can't do their work without oxygen. If a cell doesn't get oxygen, it dies. How much oxygen do you need? Well, that depends upon what you're doing. If you're relaxing, well, then you breathe in about 16 times a minute. Later, you can check this out by timing yourself with a clock. When you sleep, you breathe even slower. Emotions also change the rate of breathing. What happens when you get angry? Or when you get a surprise? During heavy exercise, you breathe much deeper and faster, and you're able to breathe in 10 to 12 times as much air every minute. Remember the last time you got really excited? What happened to your breathing then? Altogether, our lungs can hold about as much air as it takes to fill this basketball. A person can go for weeks without food and days without water because our cells can store these up. But without oxygen, you would die in a matter of minutes. That's why we have to have it with us wherever we are. Okay, everybody, breathe in through your nose, let it out through your mouth. Air enters your nose, down the back of your throat it goes, and then it flows into a tube called the trachea. Now this trachea divides, and now you've got two bronchial tubes for the air to flow through. Once in your lungs, these tubes you see keep on dividing, branching out like a tree. At the end of all these branches are tiny air sacs called alveoli, and that's a fact. Picture with me an upside-down tree. use your hands and it's easier to understand. The trunk comes down, divides into two main branches, and these branches keep dividing into many, many smaller branches. The tubes which bring air into your body resemble this tree. The trunk is the trachea. The two main branches are the bronchial tubes. The bronchial tubes divide into many smaller branches called bronchioles. At the end of bronchioles are millions of tiny balloon-like sacs called alveoli. These fill with air. Now, in order to suck the air inside, your chest has got to get big and wide, so certain muscles help your chest expand. And the most important one is called the diaphragm. It divides your chest from your abdomen, and when it moves down, there's room for air to rush in. Meanwhile, the intercostal muscles come into play. Those are the muscles between your ribs which push them up and away. When your diaphragm moves up, well, the air rushes out along the very same tubes we've been talking about. But getting air into and out of your lungs is only one half the job that needs to be done. Now your body's got to get that oxygen out of the air that you just breathed in, and make sure it reaches each cell inside, where it can get traded for carbon dioxide, and all that is part of breathing. Oh yeah. Did you know that your diaphragm is the second hardest working muscle in your body? There's only one muscle that works harder. Do you know what that is? Right, your heart. Now, when your diaphragm moves down and your ribs come up and away, air rushes in to fill up the extra space in your chest. Then, your diaphragm moves up, the ribs come back, and the air flows out. Getting air into and out of your lungs is called external respiration. But the air in your lungs is not yet ready for your body to use. So after external respiration comes internal respiration, which gets the air out of your lungs and into your blood. And once it's in your blood, the air can reach all of your cells. Here's how it happens. As the air flows in, it fills up millions of tiny balloon-like air sacs called alveoli. Everybody say alveoli. Good. Now, if we could see them close up, they'd look something like this. And it's here that your body gets oxygen out of the air and into your blood. Now, there are more than 300 million alveoli in your lungs, and each one is surrounded by those tiny blood vessels, the capillaries. As the air flows in, the oxygen passes through the walls of the alveoli, where it gets picked up by the blood and carried to every cell in your body. Now, when your cells combine food and oxygen, they release carbon dioxide, which the blood carries back to the lungs, where it passes first into the alveoli and then up and out as you exhale. So your heart and your lungs are working together to bring the oxygen out of the air and into the blood. The respiratory and circulatory systems are partners. A pump, pump, pump goes your heart, sending blood on its way. In and out go your lungs, working hard all day. The blood takes oxygen from the air, and it carries it everywhere, to every single cell in your body. After you run or exert yourself, you breathe heavily for several minutes. This is partially because the extra oxygen is needed to burn food for muscle energy. But mostly it's because so much carbon dioxide gets built up that it takes extra time to get rid of it. So your brain sends a message to breathe harder and faster until a proper balance is restored. Now, we are going to do an experiment to prove that the harder you work, the faster you breathe. Everybody stand up. Put your hands on your chest. Now I want you to move faster and faster in place with me, saying in, out, in, out. Let's see what happens. Ready? In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. All right, now slow down. Okay, slow down. Sit down. Okay, take a big breath and let out that carbon dioxide. It's time for us to talk a little more about the way your body uses the air that's breathed out when you cough or you shoo, it gets dust, dirt, and germs quickly outside of you. When you've had a long day and you're very sleepy, what do? You yawn very deeply. And when someone tells a joke or you see something funny, you laugh and laugh and laugh till your eyes get runny. Breathing out gives us the power to speak any kind of language, from English to Greek. When your lips, tongue, and teeth all coordinate, you're able to make speech and communicate. Another time it's useful to breathe out is when you need some help and you let out a shout. There is really so much more I could tell you about, but I'll just take time to note one more thing. Breathing out gives us the power to sing. At the top of the trachea is your voice box, or larynx, and this is the way it works. There are two bands of cartilage stretched across the top. Another name for these bands are the vocal cords. Now, certain muscles can move these bands wide apart or close together. As you breathe out, the outrushing air causes these bands to vibrate, and this creates sound, in much the same way as plucking guitar strings sets them in motion to make music. You know, there's something else I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, yes, hiccuping. Here's how it works. At the very top of your trachea is a flap of skin called the epiglottis. Everybody say epiglottis. Good. Now, when you eat, the epiglottis comes down and covers the top of the trachea so food does not go down the wrong tube. When you hiccup, this is what goes on. For some reason, your diaphragm drops down suddenly. Whoosh! There's an inrush of air, and the epiglottis comes down to cover the top of the trachea. This stops the inrush of air and produces a very strange sound, the hiccup. You know, we've talked a lot about how breathing works, but before we end the show, I want to share with you some healthy hints. First of all, it's very important that when you breathe, your belly move in and out a little bit. Don't force it, but remember, your diaphragm is dropping down and moving up, which pushes your belly in and out. Also, keep your body straight, not stiff. Don't hunch over. Give your lungs the room they need. Your lungs deserve the very best, so every girl and boy, take good care and stay aware that breathing is a joy. Breathing is a joy.
This is the inside story of digestion. Down, down, down. And here to tell you about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
Bodies come in different shapes and sizes. Some people are fat, some people lean. Some of the people are right in between. Some people have zip, others get beat. But you can be a winner if you watch what you eat. Sing along with me. Food is the fuel that'll keep us alive. Food is the fuel that'll give us a drive. Food is the fuel that'll keep us on the go. You gotta eat right if you wanna grow. Food is the fuel of life. It gives your body the energy it needs to live and grow. The food coming into your mouth has a long and interesting trip to make. Once you swallow it, it moves through such exciting places as your esophagus, your stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine. Along the way, saliva from glands in your mouth and digestive juices from your liver and pancreas get poured over it.
When you were a baby, your body was smaller. Now you've grown bigger
and very much taller. because your body takes the food you chew and changes some of it into you. It's true, sing along! Food is the fuel that'll keep us alive. Food is the fuel that'll give us a drive. Food is the fuel that'll keep us on the go. You gotta eat it right if you wanna grow. You gotta eat it right if you wanna grow. Delicious! Let's go! Food must be changed physically and chemically before your body can make use of it. The process of changing food is called digestion. Everybody say digestion. Good. Now, physically, food must be broken into small enough pieces to be carried by your blood and absorbed by your cells. Chemically, food must be divided into its separate nutrients in such a way that your body can make use of them. Now, this is no simple matter, but fortunately, your body has a system. The perfect system, the digestive system, which helped along by the heart and circulatory system, delivers the digested food to every cell in your body. Do you know what's the first important stop food makes when it enters your body? That's right, your mouth. Everybody has two sets of teeth, it's been shown. One when you're younger and one when you've grown. Now before you swallow any food, your teeth make sure that it's well chewed. Teeth, yeah, I sure do need you. Teeth, yeah, I need you to chew. Teeth, no, I don't want to lose you, so I'll keep you clean and not misuse you. The teeth in front are called incisors and canines. Then come the bicuspids and the molars up behind. Your front teeth tear, the back teeth chew. They all work together and there are 32. Teeth, yeah, I sure do need you. Teeth, yeah, I need you to chew. Teeth, no, I don't want to lose you, so I'll keep you clean and not misuse you. Visit the dentist, cause that's the boss, who will show you how to brush and use dental floss. Go twice a year so your teeth will stay strong. Walk into the office and sing out this song. Teeth, yeah, I sure do need you. Teeth, yeah, I need you to chew. Teeth, no, I don't want to lose you, so I'll keep you clean and not misuse you. You know, your mouth helps in another important way. Glands pour saliva onto the food, which makes it moist and easy to swallow. This starts the process of digestion. Remember to chew your food well before you swallow. The trip the food takes is through a single long tube, which is about 11 meters long. Now, this tube keeps changing size, shape, and function. It begins as the narrow esophagus, broadens out into the stomach, thins down into the small intestine, and widens once again into the large intestine. This tube has a name. It's called the alimentary canal. It's also called the gastrointestinal tract, and it's lined with muscles which push the food along. The liver plays an important role here, too. It produces a digestive juice called bile, which pours into the small intestine and helps break the food down chemically. It takes the food anywhere from 12 to 24 hours to make the journey.
Hey, Slim, what happens to the food after you eat it?
Well, it goes down, 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 down to down, 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 down to down, 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 down to down, down. When you swallow the food, it moves along a tube called the esophagus. Everybody say esophagus!
Esophagus!
The esophagus is your food tube that goes from the throat to the stomach. Say food tube!
Food tube!
That's very good. Now muscles push the food along the esophagus.
What happens then?
It goes down, 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 down. The esophagus, down, down, down. Next, the food will drop into your stomach, kerplop.
Flip plop.
Now, when the food drops into the stomach, the muscles begin to churn it up. They mix it with an acid which changes the food from a solid into a liquid. Well, Teeth, what should we ask the kids to do now?
Stomach churn.
Good. Down, 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 down into the stomach. Plop, down, down, down. When the food leaves the stomach in the form of a thick liquid, it moves into your long, small intestine.
How long is it?
Well, it's about 6 meters long. It's very curvy and strong. Now, as the food flows through, some of it passes through the walls of the intestine, gets picked up by the blood and carried to your cells. Circle with your finger, everybody. Okay? Just like round and around 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 and around.
What happens now, Slim?
Well, some of the food passes on into the large intestine. Now, basically, two things happen to food. What's good stays with you, and the rest you flush through. Now, right now, I want everybody to do something with me. Take your favorite piece of food out of the air. Look at that food. Smell that food. Say, I love you, food.
I love you, food.
Yes, put it into your mouth. Chew it up.
Chew it well.
Right. Now, I want you to swallow it. Put both hands here. And one more time, with feeling.
Let's go.
Down, 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 down. Oh, one more time, Teeth. Down, 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 down. Did you know there was once a man who actually saw with his own eyes how food was digested in another person? Dr. Beaumont was an army surgeon on the western frontier. His patient, Alexis St. Martin, had a permanent hole in his stomach.
How lucky I was that the bullet wound never fully healed. Poor Alexis. For years, he's worried that things would fall out through that hole. But a flap of his skin and a bandage keeps it all in. I want him to rest longer so his food will digest. Here's what I've had in his stomach for an hour now. A small and large piece of cabbage and a small and large piece of meat. I think I'll see how they're doing. There. The cabbage pieces are gone, and the small piece of meat is almost gone. Now, this tells me that some foods, like cabbage, go down faster than others, like this meat. Also, the small piece of meat was digested faster than the larger piece, which means it's better to chew your food well before swallowing. Now, let's see how it goes with these.
I'm not hungry.
Oh, no.
You are supposed to be done with this.
Alexis.
Listen, Beaumont, I'm sick and tired of this. For years, you've been poking around in my stomach.
Alexis, I just found out that if you chew your food into smaller pieces, it would help your digestion.
I don't care.
Well, you should care. Remember, smaller pieces. And don't get so excited when you're eating.
What good is any of this doing me?
We're learning a great deal, and relax, you'll upset your stomach.
You are learning a lot. All I've got is this hole.
Calm down, Alexis, or you know what'll happen. Yes, I can see already. Too much acid and gas.
Really? Well, whatever it is, can't be any worse for me than this hole.
Now, please, Alexis, don't get so excited. Relax, or else. Just as I thought.
In the small intestines, the final work of digestion is done. The small intestines are about 6 meters long. Food has been broken down physically and chemically, and it now can be absorbed into your body. So it passes through the walls of the intestine and into the capillaries. From there, it is carried to each and every one of your cells, where it will provide them with the nutrients they need. Different foods do different things for your body. Carbohydrates is a word that sure sounds weird. It's just sugars and starches, nothing to be feared. Found in vegetables, fruits, cereals, and macaroni, it's our major source of energy. Rum, rum, rum. Food is the fuel that'll keep us alive. Food is the fuel that'll give us a drive. Food is the fuel that'll keep us on the go. You gotta eat right if you wanna grow. Proteins are used to build your body tissue. Eating up you look so good, everyone will wanna kiss you. Found in meat, chickens, fish, milk, cheese, eggs, and more, like red beans and rice, which you find at your store. Love your food. Food is the fuel that'll keep us alive. Food is the fuel that'll give us a drive. Food is the fuel that'll keep us on the go. You gotta eat right if you wanna grow. Fats are found in milk, butter, cream, and cheese. You eat them in the winter and you won't have to freeze. They're good for heat and energy long after you've begun, but eat too much and you'll weigh your ton. Sing along! Food is the fuel that'll keep us alive. Food is the fuel that'll give us a drive. Food is the fuel that'll keep us on the go. You gotta eat right if you wanna grow. A list of nutrients must include vitamins and minerals we get from food. They help us use food's energy and make sure our bodies run properly. Oh, love your food now. Food is the fuel that'll keep us alive. Food is the fuel that'll give us a drive. Food is the fuel that'll keep us on the go. You gotta eat right if you wanna grow. You gotta eat right if you wanna grow. Your body is truly amazing, but it's up to you to take good care of it. A balanced diet is essential to health. Remember, there's no such thing as a single food which gives your body all the nutrients it needs. You have to combine foods together, balance them out. And while I don't have time to give you a complete menu right now, I can give you a piece of healthy advice. Make sure you eat a rainbow of foods every day. If you want to keep your body feeling great, make sure that there's a rainbow on your mealtime plate. Now, I don't mean the kind of rainbow you see up in the sky. I mean a lot of different colored foods to please your eye. For instance, yellow corn, red tomatoes, pass the green beans, please. Blue grapes, oranges, dark bread, and light Swiss cheese. If you want to keep your body feeling great, make sure that there's a rainbow on your mealtime plate. It takes a lot of different foods to keep you strong, just like it takes a lot of different notes to make a song. Rainbow. Remember, it's up to you to take good care of yourself. Be good to your own good body, and it will be good to you.
This is the inside story of your bones and muscles, the team that hustles. And here to tell you about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
When I want to move, when I want to move, I tell my muscles to get moving on. And when I'm listening to some rhythms and I'm wishing to dance with them, my bones and muscles keep me grooving. When I hear the band start playing, my muscles start to hustle without delay, and they pull my bones, they get me swaying. It's great teamwork they're displaying, and in this show we'll be relaying information which will have you saying, my bones and muscles are fine. I'm glad I've got mine. One of the great partnerships at work in your body is between your bones and your muscles. They team up to give you shape, motion, and protection. Why, without your bones and muscles, your life would be in danger every time you knocked into something. They guard your soft, sensitive inner parts. And movement would be impossible without your bones and your muscles to pull them around. If you've ever seen a house going up, you know that a frame must be put up first to give support to the rest of the building. Or think of a tent. The tent poles are like bones.
your skeleton. Another name for your bones is the framework of your body. It gives you your basic shape and size, and along with muscles, it allows you to do quite a lot of things. It's the same with animals. Their skeleton determines the way they look and how they behave. Think of all the different things animals can do. Would your skeleton and muscles allow you to do any of these? Well, your body can do certain things that animals can't do. Because of bones and muscles, you look as you do, and you're able to do the things you want to. Yeah! Everyone's skeleton works basically the same way. Why? Because babies are born with the same skeletal design as their parents. As they grow older, their bones get bigger, but not really different, except drier and more brittle.
I beg your pardon?
Who said that?
This collection of old dry bones, that's who.
Well, excuse me, I didn't mean to offend you.
No matter. Nobody cares about me anyway. With my body gone, I'm useless.
No, that's not true. Why, I bet you'd make a great teacher. Together, we could explain an awful lot about bones. What do you say?
Well, I'm kind of stiff, but I'll give it a try.
1 is connected to 2, is connected to 27 bones in your wrist and hand.
1 is connected to 2, is connected to 26 bones in your ankle and foot.
Your feet are on the ground.
Head in the sky.
Your bones are great and we'll tell you why. They help keep you straight. They support your weight. They're your bones.
Your fabulous bones. Ribs go around your chest, so you're dressed in a bony vest with a striped design.
You see, your ribs are connected in the front to the sternum and in the back to the spine. Head in the sky, feet on the ground. Put your hands on your ribs right now and move them around. You've got 12 ribs on this side, 12 ribs on this side, guarding your soft insides. And the bones of your cranium
protect your cranium. Slim, why are the 2 bottom pairs of ribs, which aren't connected to the sternum, like boats?
Oh, you mean these 2 bottom ribs here? Why are the 2 bottom pair of ribs like boats?
Because they're floating ribs.
Speaking about boats, did you know that a bone is made partly of water, almost half is made of minerals like calcium and phosphorus, and the rest is protein?
And bones are light and lean. Do you know, Slim, that you're 5 times heavier than I am?
You're lighter than I am because bones aren't solid all the way through. They have different layers. A hard outer layer called compact bone, but inside there's spongy bone. Now it's called spongy not because it's soft, but because it's got a lot of different holes in it. This gives it strength without adding weight. On a weight-for-weight basis, bones are stronger than steel.
Don't mess with me.
And they're very busy. Millions of living cells need food and oxygen, and thousands of blood vessels supply it. Some bones even make blood cells in the bone marrow. So now you found out about
why you can't do without
your strong and wonderful bones. Without your skeleton, your body would be like gelatin.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4?
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4 different kinds of bones.
Oh, I see what you mean. Long bones found in your arms and your legs. Short bones found at your wrist and your ankles. Flat bones found at your ribs and your skull. And irregular bones found in your spine.
By the way, Slim, I heard one of my bones complaining to another one of my bones.
And what was that bone saying to the other bone?
Why don't we go to a nice restaurant instead of meeting at a joint like this?
Ugh.
206 different bones in my body.
Where 2 bones come together, we call that a joint. Now some joints are for bending and some are for rotation,
while others barely move at all or ever change location.
So you know the point of a joint. I repeat, the joint's a point where 2 bones meet. Now everybody in your seat, point to a joint. Now everyone hold your arm out. Imagine your arm only had 1 bone. You couldn't bend it. But your arm has more than 1 bone, so you can bend and move. The place where bones meet are called joints. Here's a joint. It's found at your shoulder and your hips. It's called a ball and socket joint. It's like a ball in a socket. It gives you maximum flexibility. Another joint is called the hinge joint. Found at your fingers, toes, knees, and elbows. It opens and closes back and forth like a door on a hinge. Good. Now everybody use your fingertip and point to a joint. Thank you, skeleton.
Without a joint, you couldn't point. You're welcome, Slim.
And that's the point of a joint. Skeleton, you were wonderful. And your skeleton is wonderful too. But now it's time to meet another member of the team that hustles, your muscles. Muscles have the important job of moving bones. As a matter of fact, bones can't do their work unless muscles do theirs. Now look at these machines. Which parts of them are like bones? Which parts are like muscles? Can you see the joints in them too? But your body is much more wonderful than any machine. You're growing and changing each day that you live, feeling the pleasure that movement can give. With strength and precision, you reach for your goal. You make the decisions, and you're in control. Bending and flowing with style and with grace, beautifully moving your body through space. Such freedom of motion. You're having a ball. Oh, the incredible joy of it all. Place your hand on your bicep and bend your arm. Feel something changing shape? Good. Now relax your arm. Feel it change again? What's changing shape underneath your skin? That's right, your muscles. You've got over 600 different muscles working together in your body, 30 in your face alone. Now, when your brain sends a message, these muscles move. They're called voluntary muscles because they're under your conscious control. But there are other types of muscles in your body, too. Take an imaginary piece of food out of the air, put it in your mouth, chew it up, and swallow it. While you're chewing, you're using voluntary muscles. But after you swallow, the food is pushed along the digestive tract by involuntary muscles. There are even involuntary muscles attached to the hairs in your skin, which causes them to stand up on end when you're scared or cold. Now, the hardest working muscle in your body is, that's right, the heart. The heart beats without us telling it to. That's because it's made of a special muscle called the cardiac muscle. Even though we can't control the cardiac muscle, our hearts will speed up during exercise in order to supply the rest of our muscles with the blood and energy they need. When you exercise, you're not only keeping your voluntary muscles in shape, but you're also causing your heart to beat faster in exercise too. Exercise is not only good for you, but it's fun, and it makes you feel a whole lot better. Just like everything else in your body, your muscles are made of living cells. And if you could see muscle cells magnified many times, they would look something like this. Each cell in a muscle works just like the whole muscle. Remember how you felt your bicep changing shape? When all the cells work together, the whole muscle works. And when muscles work together, your arm moves, your leg moves, or whatever you want to move, moves. When they move a bone, when your muscles move a bone, one muscle is contracting, it's getting shorter, taller, tighter, but it never works alone. No, 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 no. Another muscle's relaxing, muscles work in pairs. And you've got more than 600 of them covering your skeleton. They make up almost half your weight and help to keep you standing straight. With sleep, good food, and exercise, they'll keep a healthy shape and size. Your muscles love to move and do the muscle hustle. Oh, yeah. Bones and muscles, the team that hustles. Let's see how they work together in the hand. Do you realize that more than a quarter of the bones in your whole body are in your hands alone? Let's see how it all works. Your brain sends a message to the muscles of your lower arm and causes them to contract or tighten. This pulls on tendons, which are like cords attached to the bones of your finger. This causes your finger to move. Then tendons and muscles on the other side of your hand pull the bone back. Tendons connect your muscles to your bones. Ligaments bind your bones together. You know, it's interesting to note that muscles usually work in pairs. One muscle pulls the bone this way, and one muscle pulls the bone back. Now, just for fun, open up your hand, relax your fingers. Now, if you press on your tendon in your lower arm, it will cause your fingers to curl. Go ahead, press. Good, relax. Do it again. See? Now, your hands are the greatest tools in the world. Shake your hands out. Dangling down at the end of your arms are a couple of helping hands. Hands are great for making friends, so shake hands with the person sitting next to you. Good. Now stop, put your hands in front of you, and do this with me. Your hands pick up, put down, push, pull, peel cucumbers, clutch, touch, dial your best friend's telephone number, dig a ditch, catch a fish. You could even scratch an itch with your helping hand. And what would music be like without hands? Get yourself an imaginary guitar and do some strumming. All right. Now play the flute. Bass. Drums. Okay. Now everybody look at your hands. They help you every day in 1,000 ways. Everybody say, thank you, hands. Muscles in your palm and in your lower arm pull on the tendons which control your finger movements. Now these tendons can be felt. Just clench your fingers like a claw and you'll feel them for sure. Feel them now. Okay. I'm sure that you all realize we need good food and exercise to keep us feeling strong and fit. It's your body. Take care of it.
This is the inside story of your brain and nervous system, the smart parts. And here to tell you about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
Hi, I'm Slim Goodbody, asking what would you do without your trusty old brain? How would you know to come in out of the rain? How could you laugh? How could you sing? Without your brain, you couldn't do anything. No, no. Your brain is in charge of the most incredible, complicated, and well-organized communication network in the world. The name for this communications network is the nervous system. Basically, it has 3 parts. The countless nerves that branch out all through your body. Your spinal cord, which is the main highway of nerves that runs through your spine. And of course, your smart, big boss brain resting here in your skull. Your brain is about the busiest place in the entire world. Information pours in, gets sorted, analyzed, and messages are flashed to all parts of your body instantly. Now, although scientists and researchers have been studying the brain for many years, we are still only beginning to unlock many of its mysteries. What would you do without your trusty old brain? Well, the answer is perfectly plain. You couldn't laugh, read, think, dance, dream, have fun, or sing. Without your brain, you couldn't do anything. No, no. Without your brain, you couldn't do anything. It may sound strange to say, but your brain resembles a walnut with folds and wrinkles all over the place, giving it 30 times more surface space. Convolutions, that's the name for all these wrinkles on your brain. For 1/5 of the blood in circulation and 1/4 of the oxygen from respiration, your big boss brain is the destination. A full-grown brain weighs 1 kilogram or more. Protection is what your skull is for. Though it's just a bit larger than this softball, it's got the biggest job of all. When I think about it all, I'm filled with admiration. The brain can hold 15 trillion bits of information. There is nothing in the world that really equals a brain. It's like a telephone switchboard, but it's far more complicated. It's like a computer, but it can do so much more. In a way, it's like mission control, guiding and deciding, but it's even more incredible than that. Just think of all the things you do. No matter what it is, your brain's in charge. Whether you're breathing, blinking, running, thinking, jumping, walking, eating, talking, seeing, feeling, tasting, kneeling, reading, yelling, hearing, or smelling. Why, is there anything you can do without your brain?
No! This is brain control. Get ready to jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump! Ready for splashdown.
Of course, your brain doesn't work alone. It's linked to your spinal cord and all the other nerves in your body. Altogether, we call this the nervous system. Does the nervous system ever get nervous about all it has to do to serve us? No, I think it's proud of how well it's endowed through the spinal cord and nerves, which branch out everywhere. Your nervous system is well equipped to keep your brain aware of every single thing around, of every step to take, of what is up and what is down, of every move to make. Your nervous system, it's in control to be of service is its goal. Extending down from the brain is a sort of cable made of nerve cells and their fibers. It's called the spinal cord. It's a little more than 1 centimeter thick, and it extends 2/3 of the way down your backbone, which keeps it well protected. Now, let me tell you about 2 types of nerves. Sensory nerves flash messages to your brain and your spinal cord. Motor nerves pass orders back, which cannot be ignored. They branch out from your spinal cord. They're weaving their way through every muscle and all of your skin. They reach each part of you. Your nervous system, it's in control. Communication is its goal. Now remember, the big boss of your whole nervous system is your brilliant brain. Let's take a look inside and see how it all works. The largest part of your brain is called the cerebrum. Everybody say cerebrum. Good. Now the cerebrum accounts for 80% of your entire brain. Now I want to ask you some questions. How much is 10 and 10? What colors are the American flag? How do you spell red? Good. Thinking, adding, spelling, reasoning, remembering, imagining. They're the jobs of the cerebrum. Now, slightly beneath and behind the cerebrum is the cerebellum. Everybody say cerebellum. Good. Now, take the tip of your finger and touch the tip of your nose. See if you can do it with your eyes closed. The part of your brain that moves your muscles smoothly is called the cerebellum. Now, the cerebrum and the cerebellum work together something like this. Your cerebrum decides to do something. It makes a decision. For example, tie your shoe. So it sends an order, tie your shoe. Then your cerebellum makes sure the muscles of your arms and your hands work together to get that shoe tied. There are other areas of the brain which control emotion, body temperature, thirst, and hunger. The lowest area of your brain is called the medulla oblongata. Everybody say medulla oblongata. Good. Your medulla oblongata regulates your heartbeat, your breathing, the digestion of food, and circulation of blood through your body. Now, all the parts of the brain, the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the medulla oblongata are connected to each other by certain nerves. Pretty amazing, isn't it? And mysterious, too. A long time ago in Scotland, there was a scientist named Sir David Ferrier who learned a lot about brains by studying animals.
Come in, come in.
You wish to see me, Sir David?
Oh, yes, Gerald, I'm glad you could come. Now you can assist me with a most interesting experiment.
But what's happened to this poor animal? Has it been hurt?
No, not at all. But I have performed a most delicate operation on its skull, exposing part of its brain to our view. Now, what you see here, Gerald, is the actual surface of this dog's cerebrum.
Amazing, truly amazing. But won't it suffer from this?
Oh, the dog sleeps from ether, and the wound will soon heal. But now, Gerald, what I wanted to show you is how a mild current of electricity can stimulate this brain into action. Now, help me lower the plates of this battery, and I'll show you what I mean. There. Now, hand me the wire, and we shall begin.
Well, I feel no shock at all.
No, but the current is enough. Now, watch what happens when I touch this probe to this part of the brain.
A leg moved.
Now I'll move the probe to another area of the brain.
Another leg moves.
Aye. In fact, I have come to believe that for each and every part of the body, there is a different area of the brain that controls activity, and that electricity plays a role in the way in which the brain works. Oh, can't you see, Gerald? What a wonder the brain is.
Yes, I see, Sir David. But what would happen if the wire were to touch this area over here?
Careful. You see, the brain is indeed a wonder.
Sir David Ferrier learned a lot about the brain, but today we know even more. Now, just for fun, let's see how all the parts work together in the mind of a baseball player. Sensory nerves from the batter's eyes send messages to the brain of pictures of the pitcher. Sensory nerves in the skin are relaying messages about the feel of the bat, and these messages are sent to their proper brain centers. The muscle sense and balance is being monitored by the cerebellum. The medulla speeds the heartbeat. The cerebrum is concentrating, getting ready for the pitch. The cerebrum says, swing. The cerebellum carries the order out. Hit. Run, says the cerebrum. The cerebellum coordinates muscles. The emotional centers say, I feel great. Now remember, your whole body is made up of cells, but the kind of cells that make up your brain and nervous system are called neurons. Everybody say neurons. Good. These are neurons, and these are the fibers which connect neurons together. Here's how it works. It all starts off with a stimulus. For example, a flash of light, a smell, a loud noise, a touch, almost anything. Once the nerve is stimulated, it starts a chain reaction. Messages are flashed from the neuron through the fiber to the next neuron and on down the nerve passageway. Another name for these messages are nerve impulses. They're part electrical and part chemical, and they can travel at a speed of anywhere from 1.5 to well over 100 meters a second. That means a message could be flashed over the length of a football field in less than a second. Since you're much smaller than a football field, messages arrive almost instantly. Except for the speed, the messages traveling over the nerves are all alike. What tells them apart is where they got started and where they end up. When we think about the nervous system, we usually think of actions we can control. Well, these are called voluntary actions. But if I were to tap my leg with this rubber hammer, it would jump automatically. That is a reflex. Other reflexes are blinking your eyes when there's a flash of bright light, swallowing, sneezing, coughing, or pulling your hand away from something that's hot. In these cases, your sensory nerves send messages to your spinal cord, which acts as a relay center. Your spinal cord, and not your brain, sends messages back through the motor nerves to your muscles to move at once. At the same time, your spinal cord is sending messages to your brain to let it know what's happening. When I jumped, that was a reflex. But when I started looking around, that was my brain checking out the situation. Now, besides reflexes, there are other things that happen in your body automatically. There's a special network of nerves that connects your brain to your internal organs and your circulatory system. It's called the autonomic nervous system because it works automatically without you consciously ordering it to. Can you imagine having to remember to send vital orders to your heart to keep beating, or your lungs to keep breathing, or your stomach to digest food? Why, you'd never have time to think about anything else. Can you imagine how tiring that would be? Your brain and nervous system are truly marvelous. Did you know that you can increase your mental ability by thinking, questioning, reasoning, and reading? Why, your mental powers grow with use, just like your muscles grow with exercise. It's amazing how much you can do with your brilliant brain. Why, you can laugh, cry, love, and try to find out answers when you're wondering why. You can think, you can feel, you can learn a great deal, you can invent, explore, and a whole lot more. You can dream at night, you can read and write, you can do it all, 'cause your brain's so bright. Nothing in the whole wide world anywhere can compare with your wonderful brain, your brain.
This is the inside story of your senses, the Sensational Five. And here to tell you about them is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
Open up your eyes, it's amazing the ability we have for gazing. Listen to the sounds that are everywhere. Smell the fragrances in the air. Reach over and touch a plum, then taste its flavor on your tongue. Simply said, your senses are sensational. These five help us survive quite happily. There's such delight the world can give because we're very sensitive. We really ought to celebrate. So here and now I'm gonna state our senses are sensational. Our senses keep us in constant contact with the outside world. They introduce us to its wonders, and they warn us of its dangers. These sensational five are our own natural teachers, and they send the information that they gather to our big boss brain. Now let's begin to see how this all works with our sense of sight. Now, when we come to talk of sight, first we must discuss the light that enters through into our eyes. Because on light our sight relies. Did you ever stop to realize the importance of our pair of eyes? There really is so much that we can do. We've got our eyes to see us through. Vision begins with light. If you were in a pitch black room, you couldn't see anything at all. But once there's light, those rays of light will bounce off an object and stream back. Some will enter into your eye. Now, at the front of your eye is a transparent window called the cornea. The cornea is curved and it bulges out just slightly. When the light rays enter the cornea, they're directed inwards towards each other. Now, this directing is called focusing. Behind the cornea is a ring of muscles called the iris. The iris controls the size of the pupil. It also gives your eye its color. Now, if the light is very dim, the iris can open up the size of the pupil. If the light is too bright, it can close down the size of the pupil. Behind the iris is the lens. The lens does the fine focusing because it can change shape from thin and flat to curved and thick. Now, once the light is finely focused, it's projected onto the retina, which is at the rear of the eye. The retina is kind of like a movie screen, except that it's curved. Once the light rays hit the retina, they're transformed into electrical impulses, which are transmitted along the optic nerve to your brain, which forms a mental picture of what your eye is seeing. You've got your eyes to see you through those eyes. Now let's see how all of these parts work together to create your sensational sense of sight. Light rays are bouncing off of me in all directions. Some of them enter the eye. Now notice how the cornea and lens bend these rays, making them cross over before they reach the retina.
This means that the image on the retina is upside down. The iris is adjusting automatically so that the image is not too bright or too dim.
The focusing of the lens is automatic too. You never really have to think about it. Now the nerve impulses from the image on the retina are sent to the brain. Your brain then turns things right side up, making a mental picture of what you're seeing. Your sense of sight is sensational. Did you ever stop to realize the importance of your pair of eyes? There really is so much that they can do. You've got your eyes to see you through. Just look at all the things you see, the world surrounding you and me, at every glance a visual delight. You know it's right to love your sight. Now look at these scenes. Can you tell what's missing from them? Listen, and I'll tell you what you want to hear. The world is filled with beautiful sounds. You know there's such a variety. But there's something they all have in common, and that something happens to be vibration. Sound begins when something vibrates. That means it moves back and forth fast enough in order to push the air around it out and away in waves. Sound waves. Now, sound waves travel out in all directions, and your ear is specially designed to pick up these sound waves and transmit the information to the brain. When you look at someone's ear, you're really only seeing a part of it, because the rest is hidden inside of the head. The outer ear here collects and concentrates the sound waves, which then travel through this canal until they reach the eardrum, which is a thin piece of skin. When the sound waves beat against this eardrum, they cause it to vibrate slightly. If the sounds are low, like this, the vibration will be slow. If the sounds are high, like this, the vibrations will be much faster. Next, the vibrations are passed along these three bones, which are among the tiniest in your body. They're called the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup because of the way that they're shaped. Now, they pass along the vibration like this, either fast or slow, until they reach the inner portion of your ear called the cochlea. Now, the cochlea resembles a snail shell and has the job of passing along the sound vibrations and changing them into nerve impulses, which are then passed to your brain. You know, it's really amazing when you stop to think about it, because all of this action is taking place in such a tiny space. Why, the cochlea here is no bigger than the tip of your pinky, And these 3 bones could fit into a box no bigger than a sugar cube. And yet, we are able to hear over 400,000 different sounds, from a whisper to the roar of a jet plane.
Fire!
Our hearing and sight are 2 very important senses. Well, just think of all the information we receive from listening to others talking or from reading. But what happens when someone is missing a sense? Without eyesight, you learn to hear things you would hardly notice otherwise. Another sense you would depend on much more is touch. The organ of touch is the largest organ in your body. Where is it? All over. It's your skin. Now what will wrap me up and keep me in? Skin. And what's my outside hide that keeps my fluids inside? Skin. Do I love my skin? Yes, very much. Because it's sensitive to everything I touch. Such a comfortable place to live in skin. You know, your skin is really a very incredible and complex organ. It's made up of several different layers and contains many different things, like blood vessels, hair follicles, sweat and oil glands, and nerves. Now, nerves are what gives us our sense of touch, and we've got millions and millions of them in our skin. But not all nerves are the same. Oh, no. There are several different types which produce different sensations. Touch and pressure nerves let you know when things are rough, soft, hard, or smooth. Temperature nerves tell you when things are hot and cold. And pain nerves tell you when things itch, or tickle, or hurt, so they can warn you of a dangerous situation. Here's another sense organ that can give our body protection. This is an air conditioner because it puts the air in the best condition to come into our body. It cleans it, it warms it, and it even filters out most of the germs before they can cause any trouble. But one of the nicest things about the nose is that it can smell. I love the smell of bakery bread. Its rich aroma fills my head, and I could walk for hours smelling flowers. But how do we smell flowers? Well, chemicals are released by flowers and the other things we smell into the air and get carried to the nose. Now, we can't see an aroma because the amount of these chemicals is so small, but we can smell it because here, deep inside of the nose, is a special group of super sensitive cells called the olfactory area. These cells get stimulated by the chemicals and send their message through the olfactory nerve up to the brain. Now, this lets us smell anything from onions to oranges to fish to even a skunk. P.U. We can recognize thousands and thousands of different odors. And like sight and hearing, smelling is a distant sense. That means we can smell good food cooking even when we're far from the kitchen. But taste is different. I mean, you can't taste things from a distance, unless, of course, you happen to have a very long tongue. You see, your tongue is covered with thousands of tiny receptors called taste buds. When they get touched, they send a message to your brain about what that substance is that you're tasting. But not all these taste buds do the same thing. You see, the taste buds in front, they taste sweet things. That's why you lick an ice cream cone. The taste buds in back, they taste bitter things. That's why you don't notice a bitter taste as fast as you do a sweet one. The taste buds here at the sides taste salty and sour things. Now, here is an experiment to try. take some salt and place it on the tip of your tongue. Now, since the receptors here basically only taste sweet things, you shouldn't be able to taste that salt at all. Your sense of smell can also affect your taste. If you smell an onion while eating an apple, the apple will probably taste somewhat like an onion. On the other hand, if you have a cold and your nose is stuffed, you can barely taste your food at all. Just think how lucky you are when you can smell, taste, and enjoy all the good things you eat. Senses are truly sensational. In countless and exciting ways, they let the world come through. And now you know some of the things your senses do for you. But take good care of yourself so your senses can work in the best way possible. Senses send their information reporting to your brain, revealing feelings, tastes and smells, sights and sounds of the world all around. There's a constant reception, and all this perception keeps on coming. There's a steady humming. This sensitive team keeps beaming a stream, giving life a meaning, receiving the world, perceiving the world, open to the world, in touch with the world.
This is the inside story of your glands, the little giants. And here to tell you about them is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
Hi, I'm Slim Goodbody, and I am here to guide you in learning what goes on inside you. Today I'll help you understand about the group of cells called glands. You'll find out that deep within is a system of glands called the endocrine. You'll be learning what they do and where they are inside of you. And by the time that we are through, you'll know better why it's true. You've got a body of wondrous possibilities, undeniably fine. A body of numerous capabilities, busy all the time. So sit right back and relax. It's time to learn some brand new facts about your body of wondrous possibilities, your body of numerous capabilities, your body, it's a body, quite a body, such a body as mine.
What makes your wonderful body work the way it does? Well, your brain and your nervous system are in control. Flashing orders back and forth, this incredible communications network is aware of the outside world and the inner world of your body. But did you know you have another incredible communication system? It's controlled by the glands, and it's called the endocrine system. Now, although the nervous system and the endocrine system are very different, they work together to keep you going. For example, when a man is shaving, his brain controls his movements, but his glands control the growth of his beard. Your brain controls what you want to do with your body, but your glands control how fast you grow.
You're right, Mom!
Your brain commands your body to act,
Hey, look out! Look out!
but your glands help your body respond in a crisis.
Look out! Whoa!
All this and more because glands will pour secretions throughout you and me to control our inner chemistry.
There are glands located in various parts of your body. Two very important glands are located right inside of your head. The name for these glands are the hypothalamus and the pituitary. There's a gland located in your throat, which is very important to you right now during your growing up years. The name for this gland is the thyroid. There are glands located right about here on top of your kidneys, which can help your body do amazing things. These glands are the adrenals. And then there are your sex glands, which are located in different places depending upon whether you're a boy or a girl. The name for these glands are the gonads. There are endocrine glands located throughout your body, each with a different job to do, yet they all basically work in the same way. Each is a miniature chemical factory, which has the ability to remove certain materials floating through the bloodstream and to use these materials to manufacture brand new chemical substances called hormones. Now, these hormones, which are actually chemical messengers, are then released into your bloodstream and carried throughout your body. One message could be to your heart to pump faster. Lubba-dubba, 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 lubba-dubba. Or hormones may go to your hair follicles, telling them to grow more hair. Or the message could even be sent to another one of your glands, telling it to release its hormones. Altogether, your glands produce hundreds of hormones. These flow through your bloodstream, carrying messages to all parts of your body. And this is the fantastic communications network, your endocrine system. Let's sing a song about the endocrines today. If they could talk, what do you think they'd say?
Our job is to control and to help coordinate. And though we may be small, our role is so great. We're little giants. And now you know you have such reliance on the job that we do. Though small in size, we help organize. And the job we do cannot be overemphasized.
There are billions of cells in you and me, all of them involved in such activity. Sometimes things must be speeded up, at other times slow down. And this is where the endocrines really go to town. They're little giants. They really are indeed a grand alliance, which we really need. Their special role is to be in control. And the hormones they produce can really serve this goal. Though small in size, don't be surprised that the job they do cannot be overemphasized. Deep inside your head, within your brain, is your hypothalamus. Everybody say hypothalamus. Not hippopotamus, hypothalamus. Now, what exactly does your hypothalamus do? When you hear chalk screech across a blackboard, do you get goosebumps? That's your hypothalamus at work. Are you hungry right now? Or thirsty? Do you feel hot or cold? If your answer to any of these questions is yes, then your hypothalamus is at work right this instant. Actually, your hypothalamus is pretty busy all the time. It keeps track of your body's temperature, of how much water you need, and in general, of how things are going on inside. Your hypothalamus is especially important because it's the link between your nervous system and your endocrine system. On one side is your brain, and on the other side is the most important of the endocrine glands, your pituitary. Now, this little gland is more complex than any other organ in your body except for the brain. It's the master gland of the body symphony. Your pituitary, you must understand, is quite extraordinary. It's your master gland, attached by a stalk to the base of your brain. It's just about the size of a pea. Yet it's incredibly important, 'cause its hormones help regulate some of your other glands' activity. And when an aunt or an uncle you haven't seen for a while smile and say, "My, how you've grown," you have got to thank your very own pituitary growth hormone. Your pituitary really is very extraordinary. Yes, your pituitary. Your pituitary is especially important right now because it determines how fast you are growing. For example, you might be the tallest person in your class, but that doesn't mean you'll stay that way. Your pituitary might slow you down, and all the other kids would catch up. And even if you're the smallest one in your class, your pituitary could cause you to become one of the tallest.
Wow.
One of the important hormones produced by your pituitary is sent to your thyroid gland. The thyroid is located right in your throat, just below your larynx or your voice box. Now, your thyroid gland is very important because its hormone helps control metabolism. That's the rate at which your cells use the food you eat to make the energy you need. So if you get too little of this hormone, your body has a tendency to go slow, and you're very tired. But if you get too much of this hormone, then you're hyperactive. You can't sit still. You move too fast. At the front of your windpipe, by the base of your neck, there's a gland shaped like a bow tie, and it keeps a constant check on how much energy you need to perform your daily feats. Its hormones can control the speed your cells transform the food you eat. Thyroid affects your body's weight. Thyroid affects your appetite. Thyroid controls metabolism, so you feel real sad or overjoyed. Yeah! Your thyroid is a very sensitive gland, and since it doesn't work well if you're tense, worried, or poorly nourished, be sure to have fun, get lots of exercise, and eat a well-balanced diet so that your thyroid will do its job well and keep your metabolism under control. Thyroid affects your body's weight. Thyroid affects your appetite. Thyroid controls metabolism, so you feel real sad or overjoyed. And that's the job of the gland we call thyroid. Thyroid. And now, for the powerhouses of your body, your adrenal glands. There are two of them, and each one sits on top of a kidney. These adrenal glands are incredible. Together, they produce over 50 hormones. The most important one is called adrenaline, and it can help your body do amazing things. Give me an A, D, R, E, N, A, L, S. What does that spell? Adrenals. Adrenals. Each one sits on top of a kidney. Adrenals. Adrenals. These glands are powerhouses, you will see. When you're mad or very much afraid, and you really need some special aid, these glands make the adrenaline you need to give you extra power, strength, and speed. The adrenals and the other glands of your endocrine system are constantly producing and releasing their hormones into your bloodstream, communicating with each other and the rest of your body tissues. Now let's put together some of the things we know about this fantastic communications network. Imagine that there's an emergency. Your brain sends a message to your adrenal glands. They immediately pour adrenaline hormones into your bloodstream, and your body responds. Your digestion slows down, your heart speeds up, and extra blood is pumped to your muscles. Your strength is increased.
Get out of here.
When the emergency is over, your glands stop releasing those hormones and your body gets back to normal. Another very important set of endocrine glands are your gonads. Another name for these are the sex glands. They're located in different places in your body depending upon whether you're a boy or a girl. Along with your hypothalamus and your pituitary, these glands can cause a man's voice to get deeper or a mother to produce milk when she's about to have a child. They can cause your body to begin growing hair, and they can start you changing into the shape you're going to have as an adult. Remember, all of these glands are little giants. Yes, they are indeed little giants, which we really need. Though small in size, they help organize, and the job they do cannot be overemphasized. Now, even though these glands are very small, the hormones that they produce have an enormous influence on your body, on how it works and on how you feel. So take good care of yourself and eat good foods to keep these glands working properly.
This is the inside story of your whole body, the body symphony. And here to tell you about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
Your body is incredible. It's busy every minute. Amazing things are happening to keep you living in it. Your heart is beating, lungs are breathing, blood is circulating, mind is thinking, eyes are blinking, skin is insulating. Billions of cells are working together, all in harmony, creating the music which I call the body symphony. Cell in you has got its job to do in the human body symphony. Together they join in to play their parts in perfect harmony. They play in perfect harmony in the wondrous human body symphony. The heart pumps the blood with perfection, creating a strong rhythm section. Piping the air in and out is what respiration's about. Your stomach, intestines, and liver. The digestive system you see gives the orchestra its energy. The muscular tone, supported by bones, gives structure and flow wherever you go. And need I explain your fabulous brain? The parts large and small conducts one and all. Just as all the different musicians in an orchestra must play together to make beautiful music, so too must all the different parts of your body work together to keep you alive and healthy. Even the most ordinary, everyday activities require an incredible amount of cooperation among your body's systems. Muscular and skeletal systems are working to keep this boy standing up and moving. The digestive system is at work, breaking down food to be used as energy. The nervous system is receiving messages from the senses and sending orders back about what to do. The endocrine system is producing chemical messengers called hormones, which, along with the nervous system, help control many functions of the body. The respiratory system is piping in fresh air and piping out carbon dioxide and water. The heart and circulatory system is pumping blood, which carries food and oxygen all through you and carries away the waste. Your body is incredible. It's busy every minute. Amazing things are happening to keep you living in it. Look at a beautiful meadow of grass from a distance. It looks like a single green carpet covering the earth. Move closer, and what do you find?
Instead of a single whole, it's composed of many individual blades of grass. Look at yourself in a mirror. You too seem to be one single whole. But on closer inspection, under a microscope, you discover that you're actually made of over 50,000 billion cells. Cells are the basic unit of all living organisms. People are composed entirely of cells and the non-living substances, such as minerals, that they surround themselves with. Human life depends upon the constant activity in every tiny cell. And every cell is a dynamo, a micro-miniature manufacturing plant. Let's take a closer look at some of the parts. Although cells differ in size, shape, and function, a generalized cell might look like this. I'm here to tell just what a cell is likely to contain. Now, first of all, there's the outer wall, which is called the cell membrane. It acts as a filter, controlling the flow, letting nutrients in and waste products go. And this is the story, the power and glory of the cells inside of you. Now let's discuss the nucleus at the center of the cell. Its central role is to be in control and to see that all runs well. Between the membrane and nucleus, there is no chasm. It's filled by a fluid called cytoplasm. And this is the story, the wonder and glory of the cells inside of you. You need, of course, an energy source to run this factory. So let's go and see the mitochondria, which provide this energy. They break down the food, releasing its power. They're busy working hour by hour. That is the story, the power and glory of the cells inside of you. That is the story, the wonder and glory of the cells inside of you. Now, of course, not all cells look the same or do the very same job, but each one is a mini factory, a production unit that operates in 3 stages. 1, taking in raw materials such as oxygen and food from blood. 2, releasing its energy, storing it and using it to manufacture something. 3, disposing of the final product and waste materials. Cells are so small that you could fit more than 3,000 of them on a head of a pin. Can you imagine how thin the cell membrane is likely to be? Now, depending upon the job the cell has, this membrane will only allow certain raw materials into the cytoplasm. These materials come from the food you eat, the fluid you drink, and the air you breathe. And they're delivered by the lymphatic and circulatory systems. In one-celled animals, like bacteria, the cell is able to carry out all life functions. It can take care of breathing, eating, digesting, absorbing, using food, producing chemicals, getting rid of waste, adapting to the environment, etc., etc., etc. But as living things become more complex, cells begin to form colonies and labor is divided. Certain cells have functions that others lack, but still each cell is largely independent. In super complex human beings who have over 50,000 billion cells, cells must depend upon each other to cooperate in carrying out life activities. We are actually a family of cells, and this is the way things work inside of us. Cells that have the same shape and function join together to form tissues. For example, we have bone tissue, nerve tissue, muscle tissue, and skin tissue. Now, when different tissues join together and cooperate to perform a common task, they're called an organ. Tissues join together in your body to form organs in much the same way as pieces of a puzzle join together to form a picture. For example, your stomach is an organ that contains many different types of tissues. Now, when a group of different organs all join together to perform a particular function in your body, they're called an organ system. The digestive system is composed of all the organs of digestion. Now, these include such organs as the esophagus, the stomach, the gallbladder, the liver, the pancreas, the small intestine, and the large intestine. The same is true for all the other organ systems. Now, all the organ systems join together form an organism, such as a human being like you, the most complex organism of them all. But this is only part of the story. Let's go back to the beginning. You began as a tiny cell inside your mother's body. You quickly grew. Millions of cells formed tissues. Your organs and organ systems took shape, all within your mother. After 9 months, you were ready to come out on your own.
It's a boy.
A new baby's body has about everything a full-grown adult has, only it's smaller. So now as you grow, your body is adding millions of new cells and tissues to the muscles, bones, skin, and organs you already have. It keeps adding new cells and tissues until you finally reach your full size at about age 20. During this time, your body needs plenty of good food and plenty of exercise and rest so that it keeps growing healthy and strong. After you're fully grown, you keep changing. And you can actually see this taking place on a couple of parts of your body. One is on your hands and your feet. It's your nails. Now you know that these keep on growing because you must keep clipping them. Another part that keeps growing is your hair. Now hair is always growing out of the hair follicles located in the area of your skin called the dermis. Skin itself is always changing. See, the outer layer of your skin is called the epidermis, but it's really just a layer of dead cells that keep on flaking away. Now, meanwhile, new cells are rising to the surface to take their place. So you see, without even noticing it, your skin is replacing itself. And this is happening throughout your body. Each moment, millions and millions of cells are dying in the organs in your system. But at the same time, they're being replaced by brand new cells. So you see that even though the cells and the tissues keep changing, the organs and the body parts they make up remain the same. Your body can do some amazing things.
Food moves to your stomach even when you swallow standing on your head.
When you take a step, the thigh bone takes well over 1,000 pounds of pressure. The enamel on your teeth is the hardest substance in your body. 75% of muscle tissue is water. In the average lifetime, the heart will pump 2.5 to 4 billion times. There are parts of your brain which never sleep your whole life long. Skin is a waterproof covering for our body. When you take a spoonful of soup to your mouth, you're using over 30 joints in your arm, wrist, and hand. Your tongue is a muscle. Your body is incredible, and it gives you the wonderful power to be what you want to be. You're not locked up, you're free. The doors are open wide, so take a walk outside. The world we live in is our sweet home, and here's where we belong. We're blessed with the possibility to grow up healthy and strong. Now every day is a brand new start, with a chance to see that if you do your best, you can forget the rest. You've got the opportunity. It is true that you can be what you want to be. You're not locked up, you're free. The doors are open wide, so take a walk outside. Yeah. Your heart works hard, your bones hold you up, your muscles move you around, and your brain is incredibly smart. Point to yourself and say, this is my body. My body is full of wonders. That means I'm wonderful. I'm the only me in the whole world. That means I'm special. I'm wonderful and special. Give yourself a hug and say, I love myself. You've got a body of wondrous possibilities, undeniably fine. A body of numerous capabilities, busy all the time. Be good to your body, and it's true, your body will be good to you. You've got a body of wondrous possibilities, a body of numerous capabilities, a body, it's a body, quite a body, such a body as mine. Love yourself.
This is the inside story of substance abuse, attention to prevention. And here to tell you all about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
You are amazing with a body and mind, beautifully designed. You can do great things with your body and mind combined. If you respect yourself, take care of what you've got, respect love yourself a lot. Keep your mind and body pollution free, and be as great as you can be. Every day there's more and more. You're finally old enough to explore places to see, people to be. Whatever you do, make sure you respect yourself in everything you do. The one and only you. Keep your mind and body pollution free, and be as great as you can be. And be as great as you can be. Hi, I'm Slim Goodbody. You know me as someone who likes to help kids stay healthy, who wants you to practice healthy habits and avoid risky behavior. In this program, we're going to be talking about dangerous drugs. Drugs like nicotine, alcohol, marijuana, crack, and cocaine. We're going to learn about what these drugs do to your body and how you can pay attention to prevention. That means not only knowing the facts about drugs, but also caring enough about yourself to make healthy choices.
Look over here.
When you were younger, your parents or other adults made most of the decisions about how to keep your body safe and strong. But as you grow older, more choices are left up to you. Good health is in your hands. It's your responsibility to be good to your own body. That means paying attention to prevention by avoiding risky behavior and choosing not to use dangerous substances. It's important to learn about harmful drugs now, before you come in contact with them. A drug is a powerful chemical that can change the way you think or feel. Drugs can affect your brain, nervous system, heart, lungs, and other organs. Some drugs can be helpful to your body. For example, when you're sick, your doctor may prescribe medicines to help you fight disease. But there are other drugs that can damage your body, like nicotine, found in tobacco, as well as alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine. Let's learn the facts about what these drugs can do.
Listen up now, hear what I say. Keep yourself out of harm's way. Drugs are no good, there's a terrible cost. The minute you start, your freedom is lost. Be smart. Don't start.
Be smart. Don't start.
I say, hey, no way.
Be smart. Don't start.
Tobacco contains substances that can hurt you in many ways. Tobacco is a plant with leaves that can be smoked or chewed.
I've seen lots of people smoking cigarettes. What's wrong with that?
Well, tobacco smoke irritates the lining of the lungs, so you can't breathe as well. And it prevents oxygen from being fully absorbed into the blood. That means you can't run as fast or as far. Tobacco users lose some of their ability to smell or taste. Tobacco stains their teeth, gives them bad breath, and harms their gums. What's much worse is that smoking cigarettes causes heart and lung disease. And whether tobacco is smoked or chewed, it's been proven to cause cancer. Tobacco can kill.
Why don't people just stop using tobacco?
It's not that easy. That's because there's a drug in tobacco called nicotine. Nicotine is addictive. That means it makes people want to use it again and again. They crave the drug and come to depend on it. That makes nicotine especially dangerous, because the more often people light up or chew tobacco, the greater the risk to their body. The best way to avoid getting addicted is to pay attention to prevention and choose not to start. Alcohol is a drug too. Beer, wine, whiskey, and other kinds of liquor all contain alcohol. This drug affects the way a person thinks, feels, and acts. After it's swallowed, alcohol is quickly absorbed into the blood and flows through the body. When it reaches the brain, it slows down the nervous system. People have trouble thinking clearly and remembering things. They may find their vision gets blurred. They can lose control over their muscles and become clumsy and uncoordinated. So people who drink alcohol are much more likely to have accidents and hurt themselves and others. Many automobile accidents are caused by drivers who drink. Alcohol can be dangerous even in small amounts. Just one drink can be harmful to a child's health because the effects of alcohol are quicker and stronger on smaller bodies.
Is it okay for grown-ups to drink?
Adults who do choose to drink alcohol are putting their bodies at risk. In addition to the effects we've talked about, heavy drinking can cause serious damage to the liver, sometimes enough to kill. But now that you know the facts, you'll be able to make the healthy choice. Marijuana is another drug you need to know the facts about. Marijuana, like tobacco, is a plant. Smoking it affects the heart. It can cause dangerous changes in a person's heartbeat. Marijuana hurts the lungs. It contains many substances that can cause cancer. And marijuana has a strong effect on the brain and nervous system. People using marijuana can't think straight. It's like being in a fog. It's difficult to concentrate or remember things. This makes learning very difficult. Marijuana affects feelings too. It can make people feel very worried or afraid, and they often lose interest in important things like family, school, sports, or hobbies. Now that you know the facts about marijuana, pay attention to prevention. You're worth it. Cocaine is an extremely dangerous drug. Crack is a concentrated form of cocaine, so it's even worse. Cocaine is just as dangerous whether people sniff it, smoke it, or inject it. Any way it's used, it can damage the body. Cocaine causes the nervous system to speed up and get overexcited. The brain no longer functions normally, and the heartbeat gets faster and can become irregular or even stop.
Well, why do people use it?
Because for a few minutes it can make them feel good, but very soon that effect wears off and they feel worse than they did before they took the drug. They get tired and depressed, so people end up wanting more and more to escape those low feelings.
Can't they just stop using it?
Crack and cocaine are very addictive. They contain powerful chemicals that cause the body to need the drug repeatedly. Even one use can get people hooked. The cocaine pulls them like a magnet. They want to use the drug again and again and again. And crack and cocaine can kill. People have died the first time they tried them. So pay attention to prevention. Don't let your body get harmed. Make the healthy choice.
Be smart.
If someone says one is okay to do, remember that one turns into a few. And then when you're hooked, you find that it's true. You don't control drugs, they control you.
Be smart. Don't start.
Yo! Say no.
Say hey. No way.
Be smart.
Don't start.
If all these drugs are so bad for you, why do people start using them in the first place?
There are lots of reasons. Sometimes children want to use tobacco or drink alcohol because they think it will make them look older. But kids who try to look older really only look like kids who are trying to look older. It's just an act, and most of their friends see right through it. Some people smoke or drink because advertisements for cigarettes and alcohol make it look like fun. But we've talked about the facts. Cigarettes and alcohol are unhealthy, so don't you be fooled. Curiosity is another reason why some people start using drugs. But just because you're curious about something doesn't mean it's smart to do. Lots of things are just too dangerous to try even once. You might be curious about what it's like to fly, but you wouldn't jump off a 20-story building to find out. Drugs are just as dangerous. The best way to satisfy your curiosity about something dangerous is to learn the facts from books, from teachers, and from your parents. Then you'll know why it's smart not to start. Possibly the biggest reason why young people try drugs is peer pressure. Usually that means friends or other people your age who try to get you to do something. It may be something you don't want to do, but we all want to fit in and have other people like us, so peer pressure can be very powerful. Some people just go along even when they know it's not good for them. Saying no to friends isn't easy, but sometimes it's the right thing to do. One day, you may find yourself in a situation where someone else wants you to do something that you feel is harmful or unhealthy. You can pay attention to prevention and keep your body safe by learning to say no. Here are some tips that might work for you. The first step in saying no is saying no.
No, I don't want to.
The second step is to give a reason for saying no.
Oh, come on. Smoking's really bad for it. People die from it.
The next step is to suggest other choices.
Hey, let's ride our bikes instead.
Once you've made a healthy choice, stick to it. There's nothing wrong with saying no.
No, I don't want to smoke, and I'm not going to do it.
And finally, if your friends still want to do something you don't like, leave them and give them a chance to join you doing something else. There are lots of ways to have fun without using drugs, like going to a movie, visiting the zoo, or playing ball. Often you can say no and still keep your friends. But if the group you hang around with is always trying to get you to do things you don't like, and you're always having to say no, maybe it's time to start thinking about making new friends. A true friend wouldn't pressure you to do something unhealthy. An important part of growing up is learning to take control of your own life, deciding what is best for you. So pay attention to prevention. Remember how special and valuable you are. Choose not to use harmful drugs and be the best that you can be. Older folks can tell you what's at stake, talk about the road they chose to take. But now you're getting out there on your own, with choices that are yours alone to make. Make a healthy choice to keep you safe and strong, a healthy choice to last your whole life long. Decisions, decisions, what will you do? Listen to your inner voice and make a healthy choice to respect yourself, take care of what you got, respect yourself, love yourself a lot, keep your mind and body pollution-free, and be as great as you can be, and be as great as you can be.
This is the inside story of the immune system and AIDS. Protection against infection. And here to tell you about it is the one and only Slim Goodbody.
Your body's full of wonder, muscles and nerves. And every single wonder has a purpose it serves. You have a circulatory system, your heart, vein, and artery. You also have a system, the immune system, to help you fight disease. But keep your body going, doing what it's got to do. Your body needs some help, it needs some help from you. Be your own best friend.
Be your own best friend.
Help yourself stay well.
Help yourself stay well.
It's up to you alone to be your own best friend. The world is full of dangers, like germs that make you sick. Your body's got to fight those germs, and it's got to do it quick.
Gotta do it quick.
So to keep your body going, powerful and strong, practice healthy habits.
Healthy habits.
Your whole life long. So be your own best friend.
Be your own best friend.
Help yourself stay well.
Help yourself stay well.
It's up to you alone
to be your own best friend. Be your own best friend.
Hi, I'm Slim Goodbody. You know me as someone who wants to help young people stay healthy and strong. In this program, I want to talk to you about your immune system and a disease that you've probably been hearing a lot about. It's called AIDS, and it's made a lot of people scared and a lot of people confused. What we're going to do is tell you the facts about AIDS. We're going to help you learn what it is, what causes it, and what doesn't. And most important, what you can do to be your own best friend and keep your body safe. You can protect yourself from AIDS. You can make sure that you'll never get it by practicing healthy habits and avoiding risky behavior.
What is risky behavior?
Risky behavior is anything you do that increases your chances of getting hurt or sick. You already know a lot of different kinds of risky behaviors. Smoking cigarettes, not buckling your seatbelt, playing in traffic, diving into shallow waters. Later on, we're going to talk about the special kinds of risky behavior that may lead to AIDS.
What exactly is AIDS?
AIDS is a very dangerous disease. It cripples the body's defenses and destroys the body's ability to fight off infection. This leads to sickness and death. AIDS is a killer, and so far there is no cure or vaccine. AIDS is caused by a virus. A virus is a tiny germ that can attack the cells of your body and make you sick. There are lots of different viruses. Some are just ordinary troublemakers, like a cold virus, or the virus that causes measles. These are just a normal part of childhood, and almost everyone gets better quickly. But the AIDS virus is tougher. It's found a way to beat the body's defenses. That's actually pretty unusual, because your body has a great system of defense. It's called the immune system. You see, there are millions of germs all around us, many of them harmful to human beings, and yet most of the time we stay healthy. That's because the immune system has a lot of weapons, like the white blood cells to fight off disease.
Defense, defense.
The immune system. Defense, defense. Protection from infection. The skin wherein is the body's way of keeping a million germs at bay. But a cut or a scrape in the skin, and a million germs pour in. Inside they multiply and grow, attacking the tissues as they go, making the body sick. Sound the alarm, man the defense, send for the white cell regiments of the immune system.
The white blood cells, the white blood cells.
Crusaders against invaders.
The white blood cells, the white blood cells.
The white cells fight the enemies, surround them and bring them to their knees. Some of the white cells eat up germs, some of the white cells beat up germs, and they stay on the attack till the enemy's beaten back by the immune
system.
Defense, defense.
Protection from infection.
Defense, defense.
The immune system. Defense!
Does the immune system work against AIDS?
No, it doesn't, because the AIDS virus is different. The AIDS virus attacks the immune system itself, so it's weakened and cannot do its job of protecting against disease. With the body's defenses crippled, other diseases, even those that would normally be overcome, can now cause terrible damage or death. That's how the AIDS virus kills. It opens doors to these other enemies, and there's little or nothing our body can do to stop them.
What does AIDS stand for?
AIDS, A-I-D-S, stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. Acquired means you get the disease from someone else. It doesn't just happen. Immunodeficiency means a weakness in the body's defense system. And syndrome is a medical term. It's a group of symptoms, signs of illness in the body. So having AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, means that a person's immune system has been weakened by the AIDS virus, and that person has gotten certain diseases.
How do you acquire the AIDS virus?
Well, fortunately, there are only a few ways to get the AIDS virus. And if you avoid those ways, you can't get AIDS. You see, you can't get the AIDS virus from breathing it in through the air, and you can't get it from touching someone. So the AIDS virus is a lot harder to get than diseases like the flu or the common cold. You can only get it from certain kinds of risky behavior, and those risky behaviors are under your control. You are responsible for your own well-being. You have the power to make healthy choices. The two main ways you risk catching the AIDS virus are through very intimate sexual contact with an infected person and by getting the blood of an infected person into your blood. Let's look at these ways one at a time. Sexual intercourse is a normal part of adult life. It's how babies are created and how adults share special feelings of love and affection. You can ask your parents to help you understand the importance of healthy sexual development. As you grow older and as your body changes, you may grow curious about your sexuality, or you may be pressured into having sexual intercourse. So right now, while you're young, before that happens, is the time to learn about the risks of sexual behavior and how you can avoid them. If a man is infected with the AIDS virus, he can pass it on to his partner during sexual intercourse. Similarly, a woman can pass the AIDS virus to her partner. And there's no way of telling, just by looking at somebody, whether or not they have the AIDS virus. So you can see that one of the best ways to be protected from getting AIDS is not to have sexual intercourse. Someday, you may find yourself in a situation where someone you like is trying to convince you to have sexual intercourse. But remember, your body belongs to you, and it's up to you to make the right choices. If you're concerned or uncertain, talk with your parents. There are many ways to express care and affection without having sexual intercourse. For instance, holding hands, hugging, or kissing. Of course, sexual intercourse is a normal part of adult life. When adults have very intimate sexual contact, they can protect themselves from AIDS by making sure they have only one sexual partner, a partner that they know doesn't have AIDS. The other main risky behavior for getting the AIDS virus is sharing the needles or syringes used to take illegal drugs. If someone has the AIDS virus, their blood will contain the AIDS virus. If that person takes drugs by injection with a needle, the needle will come in contact with their blood and will pick up the AIDS virus. Now, if someone else shares that same needle or syringe, if they use it to take drugs, they run a very high risk of getting the AIDS virus into their blood, too. Now, that's a lot different from getting a shot at the doctor's office. Medicines that you get from a doctor, even if they're injected with a needle, like a flu shot or a polio vaccine, are perfectly safe. That's because doctors always use clean, sterile needles, and they only use them once, then throw them away.
Of course, you know that you should never take any drug that's not given to you by a doctor or by your parents. Drugs like heroin, cocaine, and crack do terrible things to your body all by themselves. But now, with the chance of getting AIDS from shared needles, they're far more dangerous and risky. Remember what the first letter of AIDS stands for. A, for acquired. AIDS doesn't just happen to you. You can only get AIDS from someone else, and only if you put your body at risk. So you can protect yourself. It's up to you. You have the power to keep your body safe by avoiding those risky behaviors that can lead to AIDS. And that means being your own best friend, taking responsibility for yourself and your health. I promise to protect myself. I'll be my own best friend. To honor and respect myself, I'll be my own best friend. Risky behavior's not for me. I'll live my whole life healthfully and be the best that I can be. I'll be my own best friend. Yes, I'll be my own best friend. We've talked about how you can get AIDS. Now let's talk about some of the ways you can. Let's answer some of the questions that have been bothering people about AIDS.
Can I get the AIDS virus by sitting next to someone on the bus or in class?
No, the AIDS virus can't be spread by touching or being near someone who is infected. You also can't get it from clothes, a telephone, a toilet seat, or any kind of casual contact.
Can't you get AIDS from blood transfusions?
Well, it's true that before 1985, some people did get the AIDS virus from blood transfusions. But now, because of a special test, the blood supply is very safe. So it's highly unlikely that anyone would get the AIDS virus from a blood transfusion today.
Aren't some babies born with AIDS?
Yes. If the mother has the AIDS virus, it is possible her baby could be infected too.
Can I get it if someone with AIDS sneezes on me?
No, you can't. Well, you may be able to catch a cold that way, but you can't get AIDS if someone sneezes on you.
Can I get the AIDS virus from a mosquito bite?
No. AIDS can't be spread by mosquitoes, bed bugs, flies, lice, or other insects.
Can I get the AIDS virus from kissing?
There have been no cases of people getting the AIDS virus from a kiss.
Can I still be friends with someone who has AIDS?
You sure can be friends with someone who has AIDS. They're going through a very difficult time. They need your understanding and your support.
Thanks, Slim!
So now you've got the facts about the immune system and AIDS. As long as you take care of your body by avoiding risky behavior and making good choices, you can stay healthy. Be good to your body, and it will be good to you. Your body is wonder, amazing and strong. But you must help your body so nothing goes wrong.
Nothing goes wrong.
Making healthy choices, that's what it's about. Eat good foods and exercise. Risky behavior is out to keep your body going, doing what it's gotta do. Your body needs some help. It needs some help from you. To be your own best friend.
Be your own best friend.
And help yourself stay well.
Help yourself stay well.
It's up to you alone
to be your own best friend.